For Star Wars After the Mandalorian Grogu, the damage has been done and Disney is having no fun. Now the executives at the House of Mouse have demanded Star Wars get their house in order, and the way they're doing it, slash the budgets, cut the costs. And that means dropping CGI. The age of AI is now in Star Wars. It's a great day. It's a groovy day. Folks, happy Thursday and welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to shine a light on what's really happening all across Hollywood. You want to be informed? You want to be first? Well, we have a thirst to give you just that. The drive-bys are stopping by every day to capture tomorrow's headlines. Let's get underway. Click the like button, and here we go. All right, folks, we are going back to the Bespin Bulletin now because we're talking about the leak from Star Wars, this roadmap thing that apparently was hand-delivered by Josh D'Amaro, Dana Walden, Alan Bergman, and the rest to Lucasfilm, telling them, here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do. This was not Disney execs sitting down and saying, you know, we need to talk and come up with a plan together. This was them going and delivering this, and I want to explain what I think happened. And you guys, if you disagree, you push back. But I think that the reason this roadmap is left a little blurry, I think it's intentional. I don't think executives wanted to put in high specificity exactly what's going to happen, lest this leak, which it did. It leaked. Okay. So I think that the idea, if they wanted to do this in specificity, they could have just done it with a Zoom call. They could have done it with an email. But I think that because of the need to keep this secret, they flew in Josh D'Amaro and Dana Walden and Alan Bergman and the rest to Lucasfilm in the first week of Josh D'Amaro's reign with this as an outline. And then I think that Josh D'Amaro probably pulled Filoni to the side and they said, here's what this really means. This is why we're here, because behind closed doors, we need to say, this is how this is going to work. Okay. Now, what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about right now what appears to be a mandate to slash the budgets after the crash of Mandalorian Grogu, as well as Ahsoka and Acolyte and all the rest. Here's where we're going to go with this, okay? AI will be used, and this is going to be controversial, but we're going to talk about it. Now, the only reason right now that you would be using AI in the way that they're going to, there are other reasons to use it, but the reason I think they're using it this way, and we'll explain, is to reduce budgets. That's all I see. And maybe also we're going to see the same sort of thing for Avatar, since they can't make those movies anymore either with the current methods and break even. But here's what it says. Here's what came out of this document that was taken over to Dave Filoni. It says AI tools have been listed for use when it comes to live action, visual effects, and environments. Now, visual effects, that covers a lot of stuff, but it at least covers everything CGI could do. And environments. Now, when you combine AI with the volume, I want people to understand we may not be just talking about generative AI right now in the sense of videos or images. There are new AI world models that are being built where you can traverse these areas. You can traverse these areas in AI in much the same way that you would build a 3D model, but it's not exactly the same. That might be part of what they're talking about. It says this makes a ton of sense for Disney, who are invested in Epic Games and their Unreal Engine tech that powers the volume. I think that has absolutely nothing. I think that's conjecture from Bespin Bulletin, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't think that has anything at all to do with AI. Am I wrong about that, Lauren Culture, guys? Am I wrong that
I think you're right.
I can't see how Unreal Engine has anything whatsoever to do with AI. It's a completely different thing.
I could see a way, but it depends on whether they want to multi-purpose the environments that they're creating. The stuff that they've been doing in the volume is created in the Unreal Engine. If you're just not having artists do that, but having it be developed by AI procedurally as you would develop a prompt, you've then got an environment that could be used for other purposes, such as games or VR experiences, so that if you wanted to have, say, a theme park attraction where somebody's going to the same place that the Mandalorian went in VR, you could walk in the same place, you could play a game in the same place, and it would be exactly the same. That's how I would be interpreting it.
Well, the Dish already did this. It's like a pre-visualization tool that Disney used for attractions in and things for a long time. The dish has been around for quite a while in Imagineering. But when it comes to doing this in a soundstage with the volume or whatever they call it, stagecraft, whatever you want to call it, the Unreal Engine itself does have an AI assistant in it to help you refine some things. So, I mean, that's already part of the creation tool itself. I'm not sure why anybody's going to like freak out about that. I mean, people have been reacting to that for a while now in creative blog space, but I mean, you're going to have generative AI that's going to be a part of any of that creation stuff, no matter what. But again, that's just backgrounds primarily. Well, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Let's read through the rest of this, and we'll come back to that point. But just so everybody understands what this article says, it says it was just a few days ago that Epic announced the next iteration of Unreal Engine would be heavily leaning on AI for content creation. Oh. We wrote about that here, says Bestman. It is unclear if Disney means generative AI or machine learning, although I can guarantee you they're meaning generative AI. Mm-hmm. Disney, Lucasfilm, and ILM are still made fun of for their truly abysmal generative AI TED Talk from last year. Well, that's because it was so basic. Sure, things have advanced since then, but still the work humans have had on Star Wars for half a decade trounces anything a computer can spit out. That's where, Lauren, I think this is just silly in terms of the way it's being covered. I'll put this up on the screen. This is what I'm thinking they're talking about with the environments. Axios has been talking about this all the way back in 2025. AI's next act, world models that move beyond language. Yeah. The idea that you can generate worlds that you can move around in. And if they combine that with the volume, then you're into a really interesting thing. But guys, let's talk about this. CGI is very expensive, and it's not been very impressive for Star Wars in a lot of ways as of late. I know that some of you were impressed with the Hutts. Others were not impressed with the Hutts in the Mandalorian and Grogu. If AI can be used to make photorealistic, convincing scenery and characters and all that sort of stuff, maybe even digitally resurrect the likenesses of Luke Skywalker on any actor or whatever. I don't know. They said visual effects, right? And if it can reduce the cost of that by 10x or more, that solves this budget problem they have, because they can't keep making Star Wars movies if they're going to make $300 million at the box office. But if AI drops the production costs by half or more, they're back in business. They can make, they can make stuff again. What do you guys think about it?
I think generative and persistent AI backgrounds is where I would live. And then for special effects, I'd drop in a digital green screen or blue screen behind the actors and the environments. I think that is a game changer. But again, that's just the backgrounds that we're looking at. I don't really believe it'll be useful to try to do that on stage with actors. I just don't see that. And again, a lot of actors complain that they can't interact with the environment around them, which is why we are seeing more practical sets and practical things, even in the Mandalorian and Grey Goose. So,
okay. So I think this is I actually think this is huge news that people just aren't covering like they should, because if this is a legitimate leaked document from Disney, and I think it probably is, there's so much specificity with this document that it seems like it is a legit leak. This is the first time, to my mind, that Disney has said, we're going to use AI to make the stuff that CGI has been making. Lauren, that is going to be a very contentious thing for the artists. We're talking about huge numbers of CGI artists, and this can replace all kinds of prop builders. This is a big deal. This is a really big deal.
Well, I think like just about anything, it depends on how you use the tool. My concern about using AI to generate a worldscape, for instance, is that I suspect what you're going to get is probably going to be kind of generic, where what you want in a cinematic scene is something that's painterly. It's why I enjoy looking at concept art so much. But what if you used AI to generate the concept art and to then develop keyframes and then animate between them? That's not fully generated. That's still artist directed. And it's not like, the old saying that when every problem that you have, with the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Just because you have AI doesn't mean you need to use it to solve every problem. You can use it to create the specific set or environment you're in, and combine that, like Culture said, with green screen plate photography, with miniatures. There's all kinds of ways that you can blend it.
What do you
think? I agree
think?
with you that the primary function here is to reduce costs and time investment. So where you find the places to make those savings without sacrificing artistic vision, that's a good thing, as long as you're not treating it as the be-all solution to every problem.
What do you
The
think?
other question is, physically, where are these people? And I say that because if they're in the UK, we can get a tax break on them. If they're in the US, we can't, maybe, depending on where they are. So there's all of that dimension to it.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Lauren, when we're talking about visual effects, included in that, I think, would be having somebody come in and play Luke Skywalker, and AI makes them look just like Mark Hamill would have looked, when he was 34, 35 for the New Republic era. What are your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts on, is that appropriate? Is it what you would want? Or do you want us to recast for somebody who looks like him? Or does it not matter anymore? Like, how does that go?
My preference is always to have a real human performer. And in my opinion, we're not quite there yet. We're getting closer all the time. I've seen some stuff that did look really good. So my opinion may change over time. But right now, if it were up to me, I'd still be looking at recasting.
Culture, your thoughts on digital makeup? I mean, I don't disagree. I think they're going to recast. They have to recast. But if they do recast, what are your thoughts on digital AI makeup that essentially acts as a prosthetic that just changes the person into being whatever Star Wars original character they want on the screen?
I don't see a problem with it as long as the likeness is properly acquired, owned, and is owned by the estate and is licensed out. I'm not going to get too upset by that because literally, I mean, we've already been using it for de-aging and things like that with indie and stuff like that. So I'm not going to get upset by that.
Did you notice in this document that Disney handed out to Lucasfilm, they were careful to not give them permission to use AI for voice work, and they paid a lot of money to James Earl Jones to be able to use his voice with AI. That doesn't seem to be allowed per this document now.
I just saw an ad for the Odyssey, not the original, but the new version, quote unquote, read in the style of Michael Kane, and they paid him money, but they're using a machine to make his voice.
Yep.
So that's the way they're going to credit people, in the style of.
I was shocked that he permitted that.
I didn't think you want to sit there and read it for hours and hours when they pay him anyway. So
I agree, but a lot of artists are going to say nope, because they're terrified of it. It seems like some of the older guys, though, they're realizing, well, this is going to pay a lot of money to be in my estate.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the story right here. After Mandalorian and Grogu, Ahsoka, and Acolyte, it looks like they're going to do Starfighter the traditional way, and then everything after that, guys, is the age of AI, and it's the first time we've heard from Disney. Yep, that's what we're going to do. I don't know that they intended for this to be out. In fact, I would say they did not want this to be out like it is, but here we go. Star Wars AI. Guys, final thoughts on the age of AI now being here in Hollywood?
I am inevitable.
How are you? Domo
I am a
arigato,
river to
Mr.
my people, and the river runs through another show we got to go to.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Here we go. When you stick around for the entire video, it really does help the channel, and we're so appreciative of that, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine that you would stick around and hear everything we have to say. The studio is glistening because you're listening each and every day. If you're not yet subscribed, well, you should be. And click that like button. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.